Okay. Ms. Kappas, next question for you. Housing. What is your position on multifamily housing and low-cost housing projects in Dixon? Are there enough housing types for all needs in Dixon?
I think that in every community that multifamily housing and low-income housing has its place. I know we already have a few developments, and to meet state regulations, that the general plan is actually working on figuring out different places that would be compatible for that. I think that along with multifamily housing and low-income housing, we also have to consider senior housing. I know that they've worked and they have some apartments already, and the seniors are still, even in this economic time, looking into what they would like in senior housing in the future. And I think that we do have a place in Dixon to put all these, to put in, incorporate these different types of housings. And that the nice thing about Dixon is we have a little bit of room, and we still have time to do that long range planning. And as long as that planning is implemented and we look at all the options and with the general plan and we get a lot of citizen input, that it all can work in a coherent fashion and make sense.
Mr. Besney.
Thank you. Well, housing is one of those things that in Dixon, of course, has a limitation by Measure B. I think right now there are plenty of multi-housing units, and there is sufficient low-cost housing. One of the things that I am concerned about is a change in the zoning of certain areas of town to meet the housing element of the general plan, which caused a number of people to have houses that are no longer in compliance with the zoning regulations in their neighborhood. And we've seen those persons come to the council surprised to find out that if their house was more than 50% damaged, that they would no longer be able to rebuild it, because a couple of years ago the zoning was changed to comply with some state regulations. One of the things that the city of Dixon is sorely missing and needs is an assisted living place for seniors, where it's not just a disability place, but somewhere where our local seniors can go and have assisted living. We have the availability of land and we have the need, and that's something that I would work to try and provide.
Mr. Greska.
Yes, I do think there is enough multifamily housing and low-cost housing. I think Mr. Besney does bring a good point in the senior assisted living area of our housing. I think there should be some. I don't think we have hardly any or enough or any at all. I think also this should be weighed with the demand, and that means if we get a higher demand for low-cost housing, or we get a higher demand for multi-home housing or multifamily housing, then that needs to be included in the planning, included in the general plan. But as it stands right now, I think we're good.